Has your client messaged you saying that their sugar glitter nail design has chipped or the glitter's falling off? Stay tuned because I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid this problem. I'm going to start off with my base color called Blush Clay, and I'm going to be using my medium length almond nail tips. My customer did request this shape and length, and I'm going to be using her favorite base color, which is this pinky nude base color from my shop, Nailsslayedbyval.com. All of my gel polishes are HEMA free, and I'll have this one linked in the description box if you guys are interested. And all of you guys watching here on YouTube, you guys can use my discount code called Nailslayer. So you can use it at checkout to save 10% off. I usually only promote this code to you guys here on YouTube because I want you guys to be able to save some money. And this is just an actual code that I created on my own website. It's not like an ambassador code because it's my shop, you know. So I just created it so you guys can save some money if you guys are interested in trying my products. And I'm going to be using 2 coats of this color, curing in between each layer for 60 seconds. So I do not apply anything else in between the gel polish. I did get that question prior, if I apply like a base coat in between or anything like in between each layer, and I do not. I just go in with the gel colors and then the designs, and by the end of it, the nails end up being pretty nice and strong. I would recommend that if you're going to be doing nails that are a long or extra long length, that you do go in with a base coat or any type of builder gel or something before you even start on any of the designs, just so that you can have some strength to the nail, because those are longer and more prone to breaking. But these little medium length and short length ones, I feel like don't break as easily, because once you're done with everything, they end up pretty strong. So you don't need to apply a base coat if you do not want to, but you totally could if you prefer. And I'm going to be using my pastel yellow color called Sunlit Glow. This is also from my shop, and it is a beautiful pastel yellow. I'm going to be using this on the ring finger here, or is this the pointer finger? On the pointer finger. And this customer always orders from me, and she always has a very specific idea of exactly what she wants. She always orders really pretty and unique designs. She always kind of makes up her designs. Like, she'll have an overall inspo photo, but she'll tell me exactly like what she wants for each nail, and she always incorporates French tips. I think she really loves French tip nails, and thankfully I have mastered the French tip nails over so many years. But this is something I actually wanted to talk about while I create these French tips, is like, when you guys get a request, or if you guys start doing nails, you're going to get a request for some nails that a customer will call easy, or they will call it simple, or something like that. And I'm sorry about the crying. My dog's crying for her toy. But a customer will think that something like this is simple. And I'm not talking about my customer. Like, my customer is totally fine, you know, because I already know how to do the simple nails. But as a beginner, I remember I used to get requests for simple nails in the first beginning years of my nail journey, and they were actually the most difficult nails to do. For example, I remember getting like a request for an ombre nail set, and I remember struggling so bad to get the ombre seamless without it having like a really noticeable edge, and it wasn't really perfectly blended. And I remember I would cry about why I couldn't get it so perfect. And sometimes that's what happens with these more quote-unquote simple designs, is a customer or a client will think they're very simple to do, but in reality these actually might take you longer to create. So if you guys are a beginner and you guys are struggling with these quote-unquote simple designs, don't think that it's just you. Everybody starts somewhere, and honestly, these simple designs have no room for error, because you can totally see like every little mistake that you do. So when it comes to these, it's actually way more difficult than a really eclectic and fun nail design, where you have more room for error, and you won't see the mistakes as much, because it won't be as noticeable. Whereas with these simple ones, you can totally see any little line that you mess up on or anything like that. So that is just something I want to talk about, because it's like, you know, simple nails that look simple are actually usually the most difficult, especially those like trendy or really like Instagram viral designs. Like, you go on Instagram and you see like those Korean nail designs, or those like really beautiful I don't know if it's like Japanese nail art, I'm not really sure, but they're so beautiful and they look really simple, but they're actually so difficult and require so many different steps. So I actually get requests for those sometimes too, and they're actually super hard to do. But anyway, my customer requested a bow nail charm, and I'm going to show you guys how to apply it using my rhinestone gel no wipe formula from my site. So I like to etch the back of the bow, so I did file it lightly off camera, and I'm just doing that so that way the bow has some grit to it, because if you notice, these little charms have like a shiny background and on the back of the bow, so you don't want it to be so shiny, you want it to have some grit. So I just applied a good amount of my rhinestone gel with the brush. It does come in with a built-in brush in the bottle, so you can easily go around the charm like I'm doing here and really seal those edges in, so that way it doesn't get caught or snag or like pop off because it gets caught on something. So really sealing these edges in is what's going to really help save your customer from getting their hair trapped or caught in it, or their clothes or anything like that, and it won't snag as easily. So you can see that I just smooth out the extra glue with the brush, so I kind of smooth it out so it's not all lumpy there, and I blend it into the rest of the nail, and that's the way that I get that seamless look, but still make sure that the charm is really well applied. And I know there's other ways to apply these charms, like I think there's a way that you can bend them. If you have one of those like candle warmers, you can like apply it on there, or I don't know if it's a candle warmer or like a coffee warmer, but like if you somehow heat up the charm a little bit, it's like pliable to where you can bend it, and you can bend it to the actual shape of the nail and lay it flat, or quote unquote flat, you know what I mean, to the surface of the nail. But this works great if you don't have the ability to do all those extra steps. Just really make sure you seal it in there. So if you guys have my rhinestone gel, it's perfect for this. And yeah, I'll have my rhinestone gel linked down below. And I did already cure the French tips for 60 seconds, but I wanted to do a second coat because this is a butter light yellow. I want to make sure that it's super pigmented, so I went in with a second coat, and I'm just grabbing a round cleanup brush, and I'm just going to clean it up with a little bit of acetone. And I do use acetone because for me personally, the acetone does work way better than using isopropyl alcohol, because the acetone just gives it that really clean, smooth, like cleanup, I guess you can say. I can't explain it, but just use a little bit of acetone. It's not going to damage what's underneath the design that you already did, because you're not completely flooding the nail with acetone. Like the nail's not going to actually soak in the acetone, you know what I mean? Where like if it was soaking or you did put so much acetone, the nail can totally like bend out of shape and break, especially if you're not using gel nails. If you're using like plastic kind, the nail will totally like bend out of shape and you'll have to start all over. But because I'm not soaking the brush completely, I'm just dampening it a little and then using that to clean up the edges. So this works really, really great. And depending on what kind of brushes that you use, you might have some issues with using acetone. Like it might damage your brushes over time. I have some brushes that are made out of like really cheap bristles from random brands, and those have gotten damaged because I use acetone on all my brushes. That's why with my own brand, if you guys ever try my brushes out, I made sure that my brushes are 100% acetone resistant, so the acetone will not damage them. Like I've had one brush that I've been using, which is my 12mm brush. I've used it ever since like I first got them in the mail, which was probably like a long time ago already, and I clean it with acetone every time I use it, which is pretty much every single day, and it's never gotten damaged. So that is the one thing that I wanted to make sure of. My brushes from my shop are also acetone resistant on the handles, so you can clean the handle off, because the handle's going to get dirty. Like inevitably it's just going to happen all the time. Like my brush handles are so dirty, and you can just totally wipe it down with some acetone and it's good as new. The logo, like my Nailsslayedbyval logo, is also engraved into the brush, so that won't disappear either, which is perfect. Like this is exactly what I love, and that's what was important to me when creating my own brushes, was that they are friendly, user friendly, and easy for you guys to work with. So here I'm using my 9mm brush actually, and this brush is also available on my shop, and my 9mm brush is perfect for creating flower petals like these because it carries a little bit more product. It's not like my ultra thin brush line, where my ultra thin brushes have very thin bristles where they're created for more details and French tip and like thin lines. Sometimes you need a thicker brush that works for designs like this, and my 9mm brush is created specifically for things like this. So you can see it just creates the petal pretty effortlessly, and these petals are actually sometimes hard to create, but as long as you have a pigmented gel polish that is not runny, you will have a good outcome when creating daisies or little flowers like these. And the white gel polish that I'm using is my Bunny white gel polish, also from my shop. I will never stop promoting my own products, you guys. You guys know I've went years and years promoting other brands that I've found along the way, but now that I've been able to create my own brand and my own products that I genuinely love and use daily, I just have to advertise them to you guys, because in case you guys are ever looking for a good quality white gel polish, mine is definitely one of the best. I love it so much. And I'm using that same butter yellow to place in the center of the flowers here, and I just mixed in a little bit of a darker color because I wanted it to be a little darker actually. So I mixed in just a little bit of like a burnt orange color, and that gave more of the look that I was going for, because my original inspo photo that the customer sent just had like, it's just like one nail, like a daisy nail. So that's the one that I was trying to copy or replicate, and that one is going to be just two little flowers here. I did one big flower and then a half flower on the bottom, or kind of like a half and half full, like I don't know how to explain it. It's like smaller. And then it's also going to have some chrome effect on here. So I'm going to be applying one layer of a chrome resistant matte top coat you can't just use any matte top coat when you want to do a chrome nail design. You'll notice that some matte top coats will not work for this, and it's because they don't have that finish that stops the chrome from sticking to it. So this is an actual chrome resistant matte top coat. You can find them on Amazon. I'm currently trying to formulate one of my own for myself, for my brand, to try to make it as perfect as I can. I want one that looks really nice and matte and makes colors pop, but is still chrome resistant. So that's the one I'm using. But my other favorite is Gaioi from Amazon. It's really good. I'll put that one in the description box just in case you guys need a good chrome resistant. And the color that I'm using underneath the chrome is my Purrfect black gel polish. It is already perfect for chrome application, so I put on the design, which is like a leaf, with my black gel polish called Purrfect Black, and then I cured it for only 30 seconds in my nail lamp. 30 seconds is like perfect, I found. And then I'm going in and rubbing the chrome right on top. I'm using this little chrome palette. It's kind of broken, but I got it from Amazon as well. I'll put it in the description for you guys. And this chrome sticks perfectly to the Purrfect black gel polish because it's chrome ready, so the chrome sticks to it very nicely. And then once I have the chrome design on there, I kind of cleaned off some of the extra chrome, and then I'm going and top coating the nail with my No Wipe Glossy top coat, also from my brand. And I'm also top coating the other nails as well. I like to top coat around the bow because the bow is matte. If I notice that the photo has like a glossy bow, then I'll just top coat over the bow, but it is like that matte standard bow, so I just make sure to top coat carefully around it. And my rhinestone gel that I use to apply the bow is actually a non-wipe formula, so it does not have any sticky layer. So if you did want to apply the bow on top of the top coat, you could totally do that, but I don't want any rough edges, so I like to apply the top coat afterwards. And I do cure the top coat for a full 60 seconds in my big nail lamp. And then once the top coat is all top coated, I'm going to be doing my glitter design nail. This is one of those nails where as a beginner, you don't really know exactly how to properly apply it, but this is the best tip that I'm going to give you guys for applying a sugar glitter nail design. So I'm going to be grabbing my rhinestone gel and I'm going to place it all over the entire nail. You can see that that really nice brush just glides perfectly over the nail and really covers the whole surface area without it being gloopy and hard to work with. So this was really important for me when I was trying to find a rhinestone gel and creating this rhinestone gel formula, because it was really something that I tried some other ones and they're just too thick and sticky, and this one is just perfect and easy to use. So I applied it over the nail and then I left it wet, and I'm dumping my glitter right on top of there, and you can just see that the glitter stuck to it so perfectly. You can let it sit for a few seconds, but honestly it sticks immediately. And then I put it into the nail lamp to cure for 60 seconds. So here I'm going to show you again. So I grabbed the brush, which comes included built into my rhinestone gel. I'm going to be applying this all over the entire nail, and like I said, because this is the non-wipe formula, this is not going to have any sticky residue at all. That's why this product is literally so key for this type of design. So if you love a sugar glitter nail, this is amazing because the glitter will not come off, I promise you. So it's on there. I covered the entire nail, I left it wet, and now I'm dumping my glitter on here. The glitter is also from Amazon. I'll put it in the description. And then I'm just dumping it on there, making sure I get the entire nail. And then as you can see, it looks so beautiful and sparkly. Then I put it into the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. I'm cleaning up my glitter now. I do just dump the extra glitter back into the bottle and then kind of clean up my whole area. And then once everything was all finished, this is how the full nail set turned out. Like I said, none of that glitter is going to fall off or chip. It's going to be on there super, super nice and sturdy. So this is the best way to apply any sugar glitter nail design. And that's it for this video, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my next video, and I'll see you then. Bye.